Breaking news: Middle East news in English. Washington and Tehran. Why did the Muscat talks end without a breakthrough? Washington and Tehran next steps. Araghchi News Network. Associated online agencies. Muscat, ANN. Talks between the United States and Iran concluded in Muscat, Oman, with both sides acknowledging deep mistrust while agreeing to continue diplomatic engagement, according to officials from both countries. The government of Oman hosted the indirect negotiations, which focused mainly on Iran's nuclear program. While no concrete results were announced after today's meetings, both delegations indicated that discussions would continue after consultations in their respective capitals. According to Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi, there remains serious mistrust between Tehran and Washington, which continues to influence the pace and scope of negotiations. However, he described the atmosphere of the talks as positive and said both sides are working on building a new negotiation framework rather than immediately addressing the most controversial issues. Iran confirmed that discussions were limited strictly to the nuclear file and did not include other topics such as regional conflicts or missile programs, areas Washington has previously expressed concern about, says source Geo News. Araghchi also stated that outcomes from the talks would be carefully reviewed in Tehran before any further diplomatic steps are taken. Washington's position. Officials in Washington have taken a cautious but measured tone following the Muscat talks. U.S. representatives signaled support for continuing diplomacy, but stressed that any future agreement must include verifiable limits on Iran's nuclear activities and ensure regional security. U.S. negotiators participated in the Oman-mediated discussions as part of efforts to prevent escalation and explore a possible framework for a future agreement. Both sides are expected to return home for consultations before deciding the structure of the next round of talks. According to source ABC News, American officials remain concerned about Iran's missile development and regional activities, although those issues were not part of the Muscat discussions. Geo News says, the United States has also maintained a strong military presence in the region, which analysts say reflects Washington's strategy of combining diplomacy with pressure while negotiations continue. Outlook. Despite the absence of immediate breakthroughs, both countries described the talks as a good start, and Oman reaffirmed its role as a mediator committed to keeping diplomatic channels open. According to Al Jazeera, diplomatic sources say future progress will depend largely on political approval in Washington and Tehran, as well as whether both sides can overcome long-standing distrust. By Araghchi M. Jama, freelance journalist and human rights activist. Araghchi News Network, associated online agencies.